Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Wednesday, January 10, 2024, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We're having a Time for Change call tonight at around 9 p.m. Eastern. Highly recommend that you're there. I'm going to be giving out some information that I'm going to want everybody to pass out to other people before they take it down. So it's imperative because this country really needs this understanding and this knowledge, and no one's giving it to them. You cannot be happy with a serious mind. With a festive mind, you can be happy. Take this whole life as a myth, as a story. It is one. But once you take it this way, you will not be unhappy. Osho. Whenever we don't allow ourselves to trust the process of this life, we tend to cling to it all along the way. And what is one of the main byproducts of clinging to it? Worrying is the mind attempting to not create what it doesn't want by obsessing about what it doesn't have or want. Right? Worrying is the mind attempting to not create what it doesn't want by obsessing about what it doesn't have or want. This is an unconscious spin cycle. It is exactly how we manifest more of what we don't want, and is one of the greatest ways to drain our manifesting vibration. Now, I think we all know that when we always think about what we don't want to happen, how much energy is left to focus on what we do want? I don't believe that any of us are exempt from this. I believe that we all are challenged with it since the ego mind has been the master for so long. And you may have noticed that our mind can become fixated on certain thought patterns and get wrapped around one little idea about what it doesn't want to occur. It unconsciously creates this repetitive mini-futuristic fear that we often refer to as worrying. The mind tends to obsess, dwell, and get hooked into whatever it thinks it has to have to be happy, loved, free, important, rich, etc. It especially becomes wrapped around those things it believes it cannot have. So, if your mind naturally is an obsessaholic, why not fixate it on feeling what it's like to manifest your dream life? So many of us are, there's people stretched thin. There's people, and let's just, on the planet, in this country, there's people concerned. There's people worried. There's people tired out. There's people irritated and irritable. I mean, there's a lot of it, okay? Now, the danger, as we all know, is what? The mind will fixate on what we don't want. And we create it for ourselves. Being caught in that, right? In this clinging, obsessing about what we don't want, being caught in the worry habit. It's a lot like someone that, that sits on the couch all the time is a couch potato that we call them, stuck in the deepest crevice of the couch. That's what it's like. It's like a couch potato stuck in the deepest crevice of the couch. They're watching some completely ridiculous rerun on TV, yet cannot find the motivation, desire, or creativity to get out of their cozy sinkhole and do anything new or different. Now, this kind of mindset, the worried mindset, can suck us into its hypnotic inner TV and entertain us for hours, days, years, and even lifetimes. It feeds on our fear that if we let go of control, stop clinging, start trusting this life, then the worst possible thing that we don't want to happen will suddenly happen. This is what the mind does with us. The truth is that clinging to anything in this life just perpetuates the manifestation of more stagnation and causes a deeper anxiety to take root inside of us. And the only way out is to let go and trust the divine intelligence within life. Once we do, we will be free to feel everything that arises from a place of non-attachment and instantly shift our vibration to being completely worry-free. We're worry-free, we're stress-free. And there's a lot of worried people. A lot. You guys know that. There's a lot of worried people about all kinds of things, probably more on this planet than ever has been. And how many of us have that trust? Right in this moment, right in the now. And if we don't have it, we can easily create anything we want in life with trust. And here's the challenge or the dilemma. Most people don't have the trust in themselves. When we deeply trust that all of our desires will manifest at the perfect time, they simply do. Timing is everything for the soul. When we let go of our ego's agenda, we realize there was nothing to worry about in the first place. Everything is always taken care of in our lives. The soul has a much bigger plan. All that it takes is going within and allowing this universe to support us in making our every desire blossom into reality. See, but when you don't really, truly have that deep trust in yourself, the universe, you don't have that confidence and faith in yourself and the universe, it isn't going to happen. Just isn't. The more we go inside and access the infinite divine consciousness that we all truly are, the easier it is to naturally live from a state of trust. As we continue to explore our divine nature and dive deeper into the truth of who and what we truly are, we will start to feel greater waves of trust wash over and through us. It is impossible for us to worry when we remember that we are an infinite and timeless being, because we know that nothing outside of us can hurt or impact us negatively. Trust is inherently a natural part of us. We were born to trust. As a baby, that is all that we knew how to do. Remember? We didn't analyze or anything. We just trusted openly. We didn't know doubt or worry. The most primal parts of our self always trusted what was happening and knew that everything was perfect. It was only when our ego mind started claiming the kingdom that we started falling prey to the illusions of worry. Right now, in our lives, what is the thing that we spend the most time fiddling and worrying about? What is it? Decide right now to shift from worrying about this issue to completely trusting. Each time we find ourselves worry, stressing, fearing about this particular issue, simply notice where this experience is occurring between your ears and relax. Notice how perfect the present moment is and how there is really nothing to worry about. Have you ever met anybody, genuinely, right, that you knew didn't worry about things? You might have made the comment, they never seem to, it doesn't seem like they worry about anything. What's up with that? See, we develop these habits through the ego mind. So you be aware of the worry habit, yet don't buy into it. Just let it pass you. Just let it float by. It's one of the most overlooked destructive habits that leak our precious energy away from enjoying life and living out our mission. What causes it to happen in the first place is that the mind simply lacks mental discipline, intention, and focus. Imagine that the worrying mindset is like a herd of wild, untrained horses running out of control in a small, tight corral. The more undisciplined these horses are, the more frustrated they become in the corral. Does that make sense? The problem here is not that these crazy horses are galloping everywhere out of fear. The real issue is that you choose to follow them. When the reins on the mind are too tight or too loose, this herd will not listen and trample all over you. They'll stomp all over your feelings, your desires, relationships, and leave your life's dreams far behind in the dust. And the only way is to lasso the entire herd and teach them to become more conscious. Golden key to consciousness is trust. Now, if you've been wrestling with your inner herd for years, you may feel defeated and have become a worry zombie. I've come across people that worry all the time. It's incessant. It's never-ending worry. I myself, what are they teaching me? Not to. This is someone who is numb to lighter thoughts, abundant consciousness, and outrageous pleasure. If this sounds at all like you, it's time to take that first step out of the zombie zone, lasso the herd stallion, grab onto the reins. Steer your herd back out into the pleasure pastures so that they can relax in the positive feelings and thoughts that make your heart sing. When your horses drink one gulp of the river of bliss and gallop through the fields of gold, you'll win their respect and be free from your inner worry corral forever. You kind of take them through the, before they can get to the pleasure pastures, you need to take them through the trust stable. And here's where you'll harness trust. You'll harness trusting reins over your entire herd, which means you. We're just using this as an analogy. First, let them know we are all heading off to the trust stable. Let them know that they don't have to have a choice in the matter. Steer each thought one by one out of the worry corral and into the trust stable. Gently groom them. These are all these thoughts, okay? Give them all the love and attention they deserve. Close the worry gate behind you. And do not open them again. And after you get every wild beast in the trust stable, you will soon be entering the expansive, free, open pleasure pastures beyond. Spend as much time as you can each day caressing everyone in your trust stable. This will be your new home and will empower you from slipping back into the worry corral in the future. There is no room for the vibration of worry when you are bathing every beastly thought with trusting feelings. Trust is the exact opposite vibration. It's exactly the opposite of worry. And when we are practicing trust, it becomes truly impossible for anyone to enter the worry corral again. All the thoughts that we had about tomorrow or yesterday don't become so important. We simply trust each moment of existence consistently. And I emphasize the word consistently. Letting go of ideas about the future and the past. In our trust stable, we are relaxing into the perfection of each thought, reconnecting each one with its true infinite nature. Whisper to your thoughts, or your horses, as an analogy. It'll help you feel the trusting connection with your herd. Every day that you abide in your trust stable, you'll gather more trusting energy until everyone can trot around the pleasure pastures freely all day long. In this field of joyous energy, our whole vibration will go beyond having another worried thought again. Even after we've entered our pleasure pastures many times, continuously return to your trust stable. After enough time resting there, your herd will start offering its many gifts of gratitude to you. One of the greatest gifts that we will receive is knowing. Knowing that the universe, this universe, is always supporting us in manifesting whatever our heart deeply desires. And through trust, we tap into our natural manifesting power. Whatever we focus on is where our herd pulls together and works towards manifesting. When we live with trust as the core foundational energy in our heart, where every thought we think comes from this source of trust, then we'll become unstoppable in our lives. When we are fully committed to starting each of our days in our trust stable, we will naturally realize the powerful manifesting beings that we are. This life will simply become easier for us to have taken back the reins. We will see and feel how ludicrous it was to worry about anything at all. There will be more peace, love, and abundance discovered and felt everywhere we saunter. Now, see, this is all about how to master, which is our biggest hurdle as humanity, how to master the mind, the ego mind. So you practice stopping the herd. What's the herd? All these thoughts through the ego mind. Start with making a choice to get your wild horses under control, because this is the mind chatter that we all have. Okay? Now, you let them know they are no longer in charge. And the easiest way to start this training is with pattern interrupt, like saying stop or whoa to these horses the very instant they take off into the worry corral. And it's best to whisper this out loud to yourself, if possible, in order to really grab their attention. Now, by using anger or aggression, because some people do, they may become more feisty and rebellious. Yet with gentleness, we will actually command our entire inner herd. This is the secret to becoming a true horse whisperer. Loving kindness and gentleness. Use this technique, and these horses will perk their ears up and listen. The softer, more loving and gentle our whisper is, more they want to pay attention. This is what they were running around worried about not finding in the first place. They were always in search of true security and love. We can give it to them with a sweet, calming voice and trust our heart. Even if you stop one wild horse in one situation for one moment, you are successful. Soon the rest will follow, and you will have stopped them from trampling all over your life. Remember, this is the thoughts coming through the ego mind, everybody else's thoughts that are running rampant, the mind chatter everywhere. Entice your herd to relax into the now. On some lazy afternoon, we can lure our horses out for a cool drink in the relaxing stream of consciousness. Simply go for a nice slow stroll so as to bring them into the present moment by focusing everyone upon what is now. We will help our inner horses to unwind, take a breather, and rest in the pleasure pastures with the cozy green grass beneath their bellies. They naturally love enjoying the peace and sublime perfection of this glorious moment of existence, to guide them into it. And when they get truly curious about the levels of enjoyment that are available in this divine moment, they will stop prancing around and become relaxed and at ease. A great technique to create curiosity is asking questions like, what is really happening in this universe right now? When they stop to ponder this question, check in with your experience. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? What am I experiencing now? What do I see, hear, smell, taste, and sense right now? Anytime an overly mental or emotional horse begins to wander away, gently redirect it back to the experience of resting in this cozy, present moment. Turn up the heat in your trust stable. Make time every day to go inside and turn up your trust valve so that it's impossible not to feel it. Increase the levels of trust around specific issues in your life that challenge you the most. Sometimes it's about cranking up the heart, the heat, and sweating out the old toxic emotions until there's nothing left. Allow your mind to focus on the energy of trust as much as possible. Imagine how you could trust yourself in the worst possible circumstances. Apply this to your personal life, relationships. Soon, the heat inside your trust stable will be as sweet and easy as a warm, cozy campfire. Now, you can use this enlightening assignment. Every morning, take 5 minutes to do this exercise before you get out of bed. 5 minutes again at the end of your day. Imagine that you have a trust thermometer in the middle of your chest that measures how much you trust yourself and other people in this highly intelligent universe. This thermostat has 10 settings on it. The number 10, of course, is the most trusting level. And the number 1 setting is completely closed and lacking trust at all. Get a sense right now of where your trust is at right now. You may notice on your thermostat is a trust dial where you can adjust the level of trust your body experiences. Slowly begin to open your trust valve and let it in. More and more trust. Turn it up so you feel warm, expansive feelings on the inside and outside your heart. Notice what happens when you increase the level of trust in your heart, what happens all throughout your body. No matter how long it takes, any of us, keep increasing your trust meter until it is completely open at a perfect N. Inhale and exhale at 100% trust many times and notice what this feels like. Pay attention to how good it is to let go of controlling your outer world and trusting that this universe is helping you manifest all your desires now and forever. Then randomly throughout the day, check in with your trust meter and adjust to 100% anytime it drops. If your trust valve gets stuck at a lower level, try repeating this trust mantra for 15 minutes while breathing deeply. Trusting myself and this loving universe. Repeating this message over and over and over again will eventually expand your heart to experience a greater level of trust. That's it. That's what you do. Now, it's up to you and up to anybody else. We do these exercises because guess what? It helps us master the ego mind. And eventually on this planet, won't be an ego mind. Won't be one. Won't be needed. We won't need it. Ecstasy is our very nature. Not to be ecstatic is simply unnecessary. To be ecstatic is natural and spontaneous. Needs no effort to be ecstatic. It needs great effort to be miserable. That's why you look so tired, because misery is really hard work. To maintain it is really difficult because we are doing something against our own nature, Osho. Most of the things that we do are against our natural state of being. The question, ask yourself, how often do we adventure out of our cozy nest of habitual life into the place where we don't know what could happen next? We may have noticed that our ego is a master at creating habits. We get those. None of us are exempt. It craves to create the perfect comfort zone. So it can feel the security, sameness, and receive an impenetrable force field of safety. Now, of course, this comfort zone is different for all of us, for everyone. For an adrenaline seeker, it may be the need to parachute out of a plane at 10,000 feet every weekend. While for the retired executive, it may be sitting by the pool in paradise every day sipping on a pina colada. Whoever you are, you have some form of comfort zone established that is there for you to grow out of and expand through. Truth is that the ego has no real power of control and cannot create 100% safety in our lives. This life in general, is inherently insecure. Only death is a sure thing. We know eventually we'll leave these bodies. The mind can only fixate on the false notion of what? False notion of safety. And hope that this will come true. True safety only comes from being in touch with our eternal self, that infinite part of us that will never die. What could be safer than that? We all know that everything in this world changes. The flux of matter is what makes life so exciting, spontaneous, and dynamic here. Our bodies are not the same bodies that we automatically had 1 year ago. And 10,000 years from now, we may not recognize or understand half of what we see. As long as the ego is in charge and thinks it's running the show, it will be holding us tightly to the lie of safety by sticking like super glue to its comfort zone. There is nothing wrong with being comfortable. In fact, it can become a precursor to a deep spiritual mystic life experience. Yet, the ego will often coax us, nudge us, coax us, to stay in an old rut or pattern just to keep its distance from the fear of the unknown. It believes that it's better to stay with what it has known for years, even if it feels like you are shriveling up in some lukewarm bath where there is no heat, excitement, or pizzazz. This could be a relationship, job. Think about it. Okay? A relationship, a job, salary, overweight body, lack of vacation, or just a convenient, repetitive daily routine. The ego would rather be comfortable in a velvet rut for 70-plus years than take a risk to step in true aliveness. Now, one area where many of us may have a hideout in this velvet rut is in the arena of living abundantly. Due to past emotional programming, we may not be comfortable with actually experiencing what it is like to be truly abundant and financially free. We may unconsciously be choosing to propagate a scarcity mentality just because this is what feels the safest to our ego. People do it. May know some. It may be terrifying to accept massive abundance, since that would mean we would have to stop playing small. Just imagine what would happen if we decided to expand our financial frequencies and stop playing it safe, to stretch out of our comfortable money zone may seem undesirable, yet it is a powerful way of redefining who we are in this world we are living in. Now, when we continue sending out the same old vibration by remaining in the same old zone, we tend to reap the same old levels of success and abundance. When we venture out beyond our comfort zone, we discover that there are many exciting opportunities and experiences that we were previously unaware of. This is what the vast unknown that makes up this universe truly contains. There is much more of what we don't know in our outer space and inner space than what we do know. Sure, the ego is terrified at these infinite possibilities. Yet we can only access a truly alive and abundant life by doing the thing we are most scared to do. True growth only really happens when we consciously choose to take that big risk, to move beyond our comfort zone. Just like in yoga. While the stretching may feel uncomfortable at first, there is a pleasure that comes from extending your limbs, breathing, relaxing into a new position. This is the point where a new consciousness can be found. The more often we do yoga, the more limber our whole being and mind and body becomes. The easier it is for us to move into new realms of thinking. Now, when we do the same thing with abundance in our life, we will naturally attract a greater level of abundance than we could have dreamed possible. We may discover more about our hidden abundance comfort zones by answering these following questions to yourself. How comfortable would you feel if someone gifted you a very large sum of money? And be very, very honest with yourself. And do it from the heart mind, not the ego mind. How easy is it for you to ask someone to support you in creating abundance by using one of your business ideas? How would you feel if you were to all of a sudden receive an abundance of attention, love, support, and admiration? How quickly do you embrace new opportunities that could quite well lead to more abundance in your life? Now, all of us choose. We choose. No one's going to choose for us. We choose to do any of this or not. But take, in this quiet time of this meditation, take time in this moment right now to examine where you feel trapped, stuck, and imprisoned in your life. What are those all too familiar, comfortable ways of being, doing, talking, thinking, and feeling that you tend to repeat every day? Where do you feel that you are most holding yourself back? Now, this is your lucky week, so to become outrageously courageous and step out of one or all of your inner prisons. We have found, meaning those who have, found that the easiest way of breaking out of our comfort zone is with baby steps, not, whole hog. We don't have to move to the edge of a 1,000-meter cliff to step out of our comfort zone. We can slowly stretch out of any old habit, just like we were attempting a new yoga posture. Next to each of your top 3 situations, you can write these down if you want. You write down what your personal baby step would be to move out of that old pattern. Make the effort to take that first baby step every day this week. Every day, you will be absolutely amazed at how much more of this life you will experience. Manifest and enjoy what you do, when you do, whatever it takes to stretch into the beyond. It's about stretching ourselves in this life. And you know what? Generations of us, none of us are exempt from falling into that comfort zone. Some of us get to the point, no way, I'm going, no. Mm-mm. You don't want to do this? No. Too risky. I'm not interested. Nah, forget it. Oh, it'd be fun. It'd really be fun. No. What if I got injured? What if this happened? Or what if that happened? That's ego mind, see? So you negate it. It comes along. And then, it's funny, later, something pops in and you go, I wonder what would have happened if I would have stepped in that direction. You wonder what would happen. Or you say, darn it, I should have done that. Why didn't I do that? Just different things. But it doesn't matter, see, because one of us could be jumping out of planes, skiing, logging, do whatever it is, all the time, constantly on the go. That's a comfort zone. Okay? People, I think that a comfort zone is sedentary. No, it isn't. It's everything. You've met people that are so active all the time, have to go all the time, doing this, doing it. Hey, where are you going? Oh, I'm going to go here for 3 days, and I'm going to do this over here. And they can't stay put. And they're so habitualized in that arena that that's what they just keep on doing and keep on doing and keep on doing. No different than somebody who just sits a lot, right? Maybe goes to the store, might go to dinner on occasion or something like that, but nothing eventful. And by us moving cognitively, we know that we all know this. We allow ourselves in this comfort zone through the ego mind. A lot of us just stay there until we leave the body. And that's why we say take baby steps. Little bit at a time. Little bit. Okay? You might say, well, maybe I'm going to try this. Never tried this before. It could be as simple as going out to dinner and you order the same thing every time you go out to dinner. You know why? Because it's safe and you're used to it and it's good. Okay? Now, why would I want to order anything else? Well, it's different. You're experiencing something different taste, different flavor, different appearance. And I've said this to people through the years, and it's funny, the ones that said, okay, I'll try it. So, this is pretty darn good. And it's a difference for us. So we don't become complacent. In other words, that we stay aware, that we grow beyond the field of comfort zone, that we end up mastering our ego minds. In the quiet time of this meditation, ask yourself what your comfort zone is, and also ask yourself, why don't I step out of it on occasion? Join you in the meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose. And an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. Any of us can easily manifest our dream life. What do you think your ultimate dream life will look like the day it arrives? What will you look like in the mirror? And how will you feel inside? What's the story you're going to be telling everyone around you? Can you get clearer on all the juicy details? Now, bring all of your awareness deep inside to who or what is visualizing this amazing movie. Now stay there. You can bow down to the divine dreamer inside. The impossible is about to come true. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night and the following morning. We'll return here tonight, Wednesday, January 10, 2024, around 9 p.m. Eastern, continue our Time for Change call. And Thursday, January 11th, 2024, around 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our Global Guided Meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's going on within you or outside of you.